So nice to see your faces all. Today is the event or the first event for the booklet reflections. You know, as every month we have two events. One at the beginning of the month, it's when we gather to tell you about the topic. We discuss it a bit, we break it down so that you can have an idea on reflections. So we can kind of guide you with Rosemary and tell you about all the directions you can write about and the projects and the theme, of course, of the month because it's theme based. And then after 2 weeks from now, we are going again to gather in the second event. And this time we are going to discuss our reflections after we have written some notes, draft if you want. But we come together and we discuss them. And we need to write reflections or essays or paragraphs. Let's say paragraphs because essay is long. So what
Right.
we need is we actually encourage you not to not to write a long paragraph. I know that, and that's me. When we start writing, we have a tendency to write like paragraphs, and ideas keeps coming. But we should, or it's better to keep an idea in head. So and then write like an idea, an example, illustration, and then another paragraph or another idea. So we welcome like 2, 3, 4 small paragraphs, but not one long. The only reason or the reason why we do so, it's because the booklet we are creating is small. So the format is small. So uh, we cannot write a long essay or paragraph. It should be small reflections so that we can put one reflection in one page. And
Right.
I show you the booklet later and a video on the booklet. Before that, and remind me if I forget also to show you how to post in the forums, because after you have written your paragraphs, we have the booklet reflections forum. It's for you, open, you can post. It's very, very easy. I'm going to show you later. I think we give Rosemary the word to say something about the topic, the theme, to help you direct you on what to write. Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you, Sabrina. Yeah, the booklet, it's a little booklet that people can carry around in their pockets. So, when you're waiting or something, you can pull it out and read a small paragraph and then reflect on it. So the booklet is called Reflections, which are little meditations. And in February, where around here anyway, people like to receive presents of chocolate candies in a box. It kind of makes me think that in writing these short paragraphs, that we're creating like a box of chocolates for reflections. Not something that's going to take a long time to read, but something that you can enjoy in 2 or 3 or 5 minutes. And the subject this month we should have great fun with, because when you think about it, the nonviolence. This month's booklet is going to be the power of love, and so this is the format. If you want to choose a graphic, the form lets you do that, and that was the month that we focused on all the different organizations and teachings for peacemaking, how to become an activist, making peace, all different kinds of ways. So the picture on the cover of that one are the 4 sides of a peace pole that we made here and put outside where people can walk by and see it. And people in several countries made peace poles, some of them like a foot tall to put on their desk. This one was 6 feet tall. We put it out on the street, and everything in between. I remember Sabrina and a friend of hers made a peace bowl that was what, like a demi-mètre, peut-être, de longueur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can bring it. Just hold on a second now. I can show it. Just give me a second. I'll be back. I'm back here. Sorry. And this is. I just wanted to show my peace bowl that I
oh,
made.
there you go. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So that was one of the organizations that, you take a piece of wood or metal, but mostly wood, and you write on it, "May peace prevail on earth." And if you have a big one, you can put it in several languages, and keep it someplace where you will see it, because the idea is that every time we see it, we think that legend, we think, "May peace prevail on earth." And what we think energizes. It joins with other people's thoughts and helps to bring about what it is we're thinking of. So that was the idea behind the peace polls. And I still, since mine is outside, and every time I get in the car, I drive by it when I'm driving down the hill to the street. So I say it at least 2 or 3 times a day. And that's the general idea. And a lot of people walk on our streets. So there's a lot of people who see it. Anyway, this month we're talking about love, which we all know something about, but we probably know more about it than we think we do. Because in metaphysical terms, love is energy. And it's the energy of wanting, of desiring, of enjoying. And so our whole lives are really based on love. We act to enjoy more of what we love. That's right. Everything we think, we do, we say. We want to be loved. We're loving. We're recognizing someone else's desire to be loved and appreciating them, or giving them some token, some word, or physical token of our recognition that, as I know, there's a song that says it's love that makes the world go round, which is really the truth. So when do we see love? Obviously, young people fall in love with somebody that they are very excited to be thinking of spending their whole lives with. And older couples have gone way beyond falling in love and have worked to create a peaceful, loving relationship. People that you see together that have been married for 20, 30, 50 years, they have really made a goal out of enjoying much love. And to enjoy it, you got to give it. Love is total flow. It's never one person giving or just one person receiving. It's both giving and receiving. And so, yeah, it's everything. It's behind everything that we do. Can anybody share with us a thought about love and how it brightens your life? Abu?
Yes, Chris was talking to me earlier that she would like to share with us a little poem with her own experience, and I said her that before that you should ask permission to Rosemary Wu or Sabrina before that, and I said her yes. Is it possible?
Yes, absolutely. So do you have that poem now, or? Yes, we welcome poems, we welcome drawings, pieces of
Yes,
art.
yes. She
So
sent it to
Poem.
me.
maybe
Not,
Chris wants to
not,
write her. Do you want to write your read? Sorry, do you want to read your poem now, or what is your request, Chris? Do you want to share it now in this meeting or later, Chris?
Teacher, later, teacher. I send you, teacher, how can I say? I send you poem. Just you read, teacher, and correct first before before I read. I don't know if my grammar is correct or no.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. But if you wish to share it with others in this meeting, you are welcome. If you want to keep it for the festival day after editing, you are also welcome. I mean, whatever suits.
Okay, teacher. In the festival day, I need to make again another poem.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
teacher.
So are you going to read us a poem now? Yes or no?
Teacher. Later, teacher. I need to answer first the phone. Teacher, wait.
Okay. I can share it if you wish. I can share it if you wish. We can keep it for later. Tell me, tell us. Because actually it's about love. So
Good.
yeah, it's about love. Her first
Can
poem was
I can I paste it in the chat box? I already copied it.
right in the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here you go. Her second poem was about dreaming, and her first one was about love. I'm sharing the one about love in here. So, Chris, you can go and read your poem. It's lovely. It's in the chat.
I think I'm
Chris?
I think I'm falling in love. Is that it?
Yes.
Would you like me to read it?
Chris, would you like Rosemary to read your poem?
Of course, you know it better than I do.
So all I wanted to say is, if you keep the same structure as Chris, you see, she sent me 3 paragraphs, 3 poems, small, not too long, short, but 3. So if you can keep the same structure, it would fit. And we encourage this kind of structure, small and multiple.
Right.
Okay. So are we going through the reading of the poem, Rosemary? I don't know if Chris is listening. Is she here?
Yes, teacher, can you read my poem? Because teacher, I have classes, teacher. I have 2 subjects, teacher. Wait. Sorry, teacher. Wait.
You can
Okay.
read.
No,
You
teacher,
can.
no.
No.
What did she say?
She said you can read it, teacher. She said, I think she was speaking to you, Rosemary, so you can read her poem.
Okay, so I'm going to read the one. Is it? There's several things posted here. What is the first line? Is it a dream?
it's about love. The first one, I think I'm falling in love.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm falling in love. First time I saw you, I didn't know what to do. Maybe you coughed in my heart, and I didn't know. What? Reading it from the chat is not easy because the lines don't go down very evenly. Abu, yes, if you would show Chris how to get the notifications, that would be great.
Yes, I will show her later.
Thank you. I can't find it.
Okay, it's under my eyes. Can I go and read it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. One about love. She says, I'm falling in love. First time I saw you, I don't know what to do. Maybe you coughed in my heart and you caught my heart and I didn't know where to start. My feelings to you grow more and I feel measurable. I ask myself, is this real? Well, it's not a big deal. When I woke up and see the light of the day, I see your eyes and I see your eyes guiding. Okay, this was the poem from Chris, and the following one is from Abu. Abu, would you like to read your poem? Do you have it under your eyes, or do you want me to keep reading it?
I have it under my eyes. I'll read.
Go and read your poem about love.
It's not written by me. It's written by Chris. She sent it to me earlier.
Okay, all right. Okay, so.
But I will read it.
Okay. She said, I used to dream of someone like you, to hold me tight and see me tough, to love my eyes and love my smile. And when I'm scared, stay with me a while. But now I've got you, I don't know what to do. It's amazing this feeling I have for you. Maybe all I need is to say, I am falling in love with you.
That's really, wow. Finding the rhymes, that's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Not that you have to rhyme things, no, but I'm impressed because I have trouble doing that. I write
I
poems.
love rhyming. If I write a poem, it would be it would try and rhyme. Not as bad as Dr. Seuss, but I do like to rhyme.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't like to rhyme because it doesn't come naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we all know about falling in love with someone else, right? It's something that's what we think of in February when we think of love. Who can suggest another way of loving, of showing love, of sharing love in another situation?
Okay, I can go ahead, just small ideas and people can reflect on them. So I had the chance to participate in some guides meetings last week, and I have learned in a short period of time a lot about self-love. So to me, it was like love is loving others, and I would not never, but less thought of self-love as the most important thing for love to grow, for love to be shared. So it was I learned that there is an equation, and it's interesting because some people would think No, it's selfish to love oneself. It's selfish to put myself in the start of the line. It's selfish that I think about me instead of thinking about others. Yes, no, it's not selfish, because the equation says if you delete, if you keep yourself aside from the equation of love, you will or the result is not going to be as large and big. So if you put yourself in the equation, let's assume we are 6 people, we are now three, we are 12 people. Let's assume that I give each and every one of you a small part of love, but I include myself. So myself is the X. And then I multiply this X by 12. We are 12 in here. So I get whatever I get. So the least X is 1. So I get 12. However, if I don't take myself in the equation, if X is 0, if I don't love myself, if I don't care about myself, it means that whichever the number is, the world, when I multiply 0, that's the love I give to myself, by whichever number, I get 0. So I am no longer able, or I'm not able to share love with others if I don't love myself. So my suggestion to you is to start with yourself, to be appreciative of yourself, to love yourself, and to be proud of yourself, because that's the trick. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, the trick is really to put yourself into the equation, like you're saying, and not to focus just on yourself, but to broaden, to look wider, to see that what is lovable in yourself is also lovable in every other being. So love goes beyond people. It's, it's universal. And let's think about for a minute when moments when you have not felt loved. Most of us have had at least one or two of those, if not gazillions. How do you feel when you do not feel loved?
Afraid,
Huh?
afraid,
Crazed?
afraid.
Afraid? Yes.
Lonely,
What'd you say?
loneliness,
Lonely.
lonely.
Yes. So what is loneliness? When are we lonely?
I think when we are not loved, when we are not appreciated, when we
When basically we're lonely when we don't love ourselves.
Oh.
Think about it. Because when we do not feel worthy of being loved, we don't love ourselves. And we don't know how to love others. It all starts with our knowing in ourself and our feeling love in ourself. So loneliness means I feel all alone here. That means I'm not loving. Because you know what? Love is like a magnet. When we are being love, when we are loving, it draws other people to us. Because everybody wants it. Everybody wants to find love. I mean, it's amazing when we think about it. And how do we love? How do we express love? How do we show love? How do you show love? Any place in your life. Let's hear from some people who haven't talked yet. Zainab, how about you?
How are you, doctor?
Hi.
Fine, I'm good. Thank you very much.
So tell me, one act of love, one way of being loving um, that you express in your life, that you do.
I express my love taking care of my mother and my parents and sister and brother.
Okay, that's a big way of showing love, for sure. Do you feel loved back when you are taking care of those other people?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, it feels great, doesn't it? And
Yes.
that is one of the biggest needs that everybody has, is to feel needed, appreciated. So you got a good thing going there.
Yes. Thank you, doctor.
Okay. Who else can tell me something about how in your life right now you express and feel love? Nelson? You're muted. You got to unmute. There. Okay.
I think a lot of people confuse this.
Can you get real close to your microphone?
Okay, what about now?
That's better.
Okay, what I can say to everyone can say about love. Maybe so many people confuse that the love is just in these months of February, right?
Right.
But it's like some kind of confusion, because that's a sentiment you can share with everyone all the year and all the time with everyone, even
Right.
all the people you don't know, not just the people you want to start a relationship.
Right.
This is the most common sentiment for all, but it's not really that just that. You can show that maybe to everyone when someone needs, maybe in this time, the situation, the difficult situation like this, like the pandemic, is when someone or everyone could show some kind of appreciation for some others, and everybody's needed in this time, in difficult times. That and But I think just a few people have showed some kind of appreciation. So some people in these difficult times, in the last year, and even it's continued this year, and
Right.
then it's it's
So
not.
tell
I think
us
it's a
tell
good
us an
opportunity for
example.
everyone to show this kind of sentiment, because you can show some kind of feel of love for many people you don't know, even the children in everywhere,
Yeah.
because we see so many people, poor people, in so many countries, poor countries, in all the countries, and they just say some kind of advertisement on the TV, television, so many things on social media, but just look at it so like kind of advertisement, that everyone can share, but because with a little amount of money, not just because they share with a lot of money, but little by little they can show some some token of appreciation for these people, even not even know, not even it's necessary to know them, but you are doing something for them, and not even just this month of February, but you can
Right.
show some kind of appreciation any time of the year, any time of your life.
Right. So Nelson, tell us one example from this week.
Um, well, for this week,
Yeah.
and well, like someone says, take care of the parents, even the elders in this
Yeah.
situation.
How about you?
How
You.
about me?
Yes.
Well, you see, in my experience, I've been taking care of my family, my kids, you know,
Yeah.
and I try to do the best I can every day, because
Right.
I've been having some experience in my age, in my time. I think in this time, and maybe I think better than I used to think so many years ago, Just try to do the best in a different way, Try
Right.
to take care of my family and my relatives, the closest that I have.
Right.
That's what are
So,
the best we can do.
so write a paragraph that shares with us one moment of you that you've experienced in loving one of your children. That would make a great contribution to the booklet.
You see, what I do nowadays, I used to take care of my younger son, to take care of his college, his school. Every day I take care of him. Or if he's already starts his class, if he try to find out if he already had his breakfast and some things like
Good.
that, all
Yes.
the time, every day.
And
And
then talk about how that felt for you.
it makes me feel better, every day. I treat it from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So if you can share one little bitty story like that, it'll be wonderful. Okay?
yeah, wonderful.
Can you do that?
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I do every day.
One little story of one day, one moment.
Yeah,
Okay, good. No
thank
good.
you.
How about you?
Oh, okay. I think for me, um, showing love for me is supporting people emotionally, being there for them, listening to them, offering a shoulder to cry on. And, sometimes we confuse our mistaken love with tangible things or material things. Sometimes love is just listening to or offering advice to people who need it, you
Yeah,
know. So just to add to what Sabrina was saying, that sometimes you cannot, um, I just want to quote her in context. She said,
You have the copyright. Fine. You can exactly say the same. I gave you the copyright.
yeah. She said sometimes it's not being selfish to self-love. So what I want to say is to say, you cannot love another person if you don't love yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. So you must first love yourself, show love to yourself, take care of yourself so that you can be able to understand and show love to other people. So I think for me, being there for my family, listening to them, even if I don't have money, just to listen to what they like.
listening is one of the greatest gifts we can give to another person,
Right.
really and truly. So if you would go into that a little bit and give an example and describe how that was and how the other person, appreciated your listening. What did you learn? How did you feel? How did the other person feel? That would be a wonderful contribution, a wonderful paragraph. Laurel, how about you?
I haven't written anything yet, but I will
Okay.
for this month.
Yeah.
So I will decide what I want to write, and I can talk about romantic love, friend love, brotherly love, all the different kinds.
Okay. But just talk about one. Just talk about one example
Okay,
that
if that's what
really,
you want, I'll give you one example.
yeah, that's what we want. one experience, one example, and how it felt.
Yes,
Okay.
but yeah, Laurel, but if, for example, we would appreciate you writing about all these types of love, each in one reflection. Like you want to speak about friendship love in one reflection, then romantic love in one reflection. So as many as you want to send, but one idea, one reflection, because of the shift.
it.
Yeah,
Okay. I
that's,
like that.
if you think about it, like I say, it's like creating little candy pieces. And it's fun to create as it is to read.
Right. Right.
So,
Okay. Sounds
write
good.
a couple.
All
Have
right.
fun.
I'll do that.
Enjoy.
Maybe also in terms of writing, in terms of vocabulary, me and Laurel, following the groups, you can this month send vocabulary about love and expressions about love. And if you don't understand some of them, you can ask your teacher, Laurel, or me, or Rosemary. We are in the Telegram groups and everywhere on WhatsApp also, so that you enrich your vocabulary about compassion, love, and understanding, and those topics and
Yeah,
subjects.
there's a lot that's going on in those conversation groups, and it's great stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So,
this is a great place to learn, to exchange.
But for the booklet, you want one reflection of one thing at a time, like a
At a
paragraph.
time, yes. And several of them is wonderful.
Okay. Sounds
Okay,
good.
so Sasha, thank you for the contributions you've been writing in the chat. Do you want to say something in addition, or you don't have to? You can just type no.
actually, is asking us to read her what she's writing on her behalf. I have just seen her message. Can you use it to another? Okay. Can you read it? Can you read it, Rosemary? Do you have it under your?
Yes, I have
Oh,
giving love is more fulfilling than receiving love because it makes you feel big and fulfilled. And that's true. It feels more satisfying sometimes to give than to receive. But you know, it would be interesting for someone to write about receiving because you know that flow. If nobody's receiving, there's no flow.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this all the time. I work with people and they want to give, and that's great. But they don't want to receive anything. You know, nobody can, they won't ask for help. They don't want anybody to help them out, even when they really could use some help. So they're not loving themselves. They're not feeling the love coming back to them. It's really an obstacle. So yes,
I think maybe sometimes, Rosemary, people are too proud to ask for help.
precisely. And love means being humble.
Mm-hmm.
Love means not being proud. Love means feeling with the other person and being present with the other person so that they experience love. And when you're willing to receive back, then it's wonderful. And that's the definition of a wonderful relationship. Both people focus on giving and they're willing to receive and to appreciate what they've been given. So that would be a very interesting reflection if somebody wanted to tackle it. Why it's important to be willing to receive. Because you're stopping love if you aren't. And many, many, many people feel as though, oh, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to, put anybody out. But you're giving them a gift because we all need to give. And if we can't find somebody to receive, we can't experience being appreciated. So balance is always important. There are people that that as soon as they see you, they're going to ask you for something. And it's not a circulation. It's all they're asking and they don't appreciate and they don't give back. So it's not fun. And you don't want to give to those people because the flow is stopped. So the important thing about love is that it is a flow of energy. It's like a river of energy. And that's what feels good, is the flow and the energy and it going both ways.
I agree.
So
I think it's also important for somebody to understand the place of like asking for favors or giving favors. This is only done in a safe relationship where both people feel like they're able to give or able to receive. And if you meet somebody and immediately they ask you for something that's unreasonable, you don't want to be friends with them anymore.
No, you don't. Because you on some level, you know that they are not loving people.
And there's only one place. I mean, if you're with someone for a long time and they say, well, you didn't do this for me, that's understandable. You're with them, you need to communicate and talk. But if you're with somebody and you only known them for a short time and then they said, you didn't do this for me, well, why should I do this for you? I don't know you that well.
Right.
And so we have to understand the place of love and gifts and gestures and favors, and it all works together.
And balance.
And balance.
And flow. In other words, inherent in the whole idea of love are these other ideas of balance and flow and wisdom, knowing when too much is too much and too little is too little, and, having a sense of just right. In English, the children's book that
just right
about that, just right, is the story of the three bears.
Yeah, Goldilocks and the three bears.
Right.
Too big, too small, just right.
Yeah, too hot, too cold, just right. And everybody who grows up speaking English, I think, probably has read or heard that story and knows it. And those kinds of stories, when you're learning a foreign language, they're important to get to know because they're part of everybody's brain who grew up with that language. I had a professor in France who made a big deal out of that and insisted that we all study the French tales for children because that was part of every French person's culture and understanding and, ethos, picture of the world with those stories that we heard as kids. So that's a recommendation.
I think they're different in every country. Some are different, some are the same.
Yeah, they are. They're likely to be different. So if you want to practice English, a fun, easy way to do it is find stories like the three Goldilocks and the three bears. And it's a silly story, but it is part of what almost all kids grew up with.
Right.
Okay, so Sasha says the question is, are we ready to give love to whoever needs it? Are we ready to keep our egos aside and reach out to people just because they might need us? That's a very good question, Sasha. You're right. Yes. And the answer differs in different situations. And there are people who are all about needing and never about helping. And in those situations, most of us know, enough is enough. I don't want to keep just giving to this person. And that's friendships end that way. People are not included in family conversations because of that. And I'm sure that everybody somewhere along the line in their families, in their lives, in their school classes, has met up with people who do that to us. And I find it's a very challenging situation because my conscience says, well, I really should help them out. And my heart says, but I don't want to. It's the situation, the friendship, the relationship is unbalanced. And really and truly, we can't become involved in relationships that are one-sided and survive emotionally. So that's what happens in a lot of marriages. The two people, it's not balanced. And if it's not horrible, you can probably work on it and make it more balanced. And there are times when the only sensible thing to do in loving yourself is you got to get out. That happens.
Yes.
And it's a question of personal, emotional survival. So, this is not an easy subject. Chris, go ahead and write if you can't talk. Anwar.
Laura, have you withdrawn from somewhere and connected with another account? Because you are appearing 2 times on my screen.
I am in 2 places. Let me see what this one is.
You have an alter ego. Wow.
Well, I have 2 Zoom accounts, so I might have joined from one and then inadvertently joined in the other.
Well, when you do that, usually everybody gets horrible feedback, so I don't think you did that.
No, because you can hear me just fine, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes,
All right, well, let me see.
Zainab was raising her hand for a while. I saw
her
hand.
Hi, Zainab. What would you like to say?
Why do some people think that love is a joke? They can they can see some they can see some partners that they are jerk and could be and could be I'm sorry, doctor. They think that love is a joke.
That's too bad.
Especially for boys that they want to play. They don't want to make. They don't want to make a partner to make a beloved one.
Okay, there's a lot of people who are afraid of committing themselves. And there's a lot of people who are afraid of taking responsibility. And in order to love, you need to do those things. So they can't love. They're not capable of loving. And there are people, a lot of people, who are in that situation. There are people who, well, first of all, they can't really see or perceive that someone else is as valuable as they are, or as lovable as they are, or that somebody could feel different from them. They've just never learned. It's really sad because it's painful to the people who are in that situation. They suffer humongously, and so does everybody who gets involved with them.
But I will say this, that if you go through something hard, like you go through a relationship that did not work out, I think you will have more compassion the next time.
Absolutely.
And you will learn something from it. So it's never going to be a waste unless you decide not to learn from it.
Right.
If you learn from it, then next time somebody hurts you, you won't hurt the next person because you know how it feels.
Right.
So we can learn from every situation.
And we generally do, sooner or later.
Yeah, we have to, or else we end up alone.
Exactly. And that's where you get lonely, is, when other people have been driven away because you haven't been able to see them and love them.
Right.
And you can't love somebody
I would
else.
like
You love yourself.
Need to accept the reality.
That's for you, Zainab. I don't know the question, where does it come from, but if it can bring some comfort, it's way better to be broken at an early age when we are fresh and able to receive this so that we learn from them, than never and then later you get those sticks, So it's personality builder. It will build you more and more. So yes, enjoy learning from it.
And I have some more advice for you, Zainab. The advice is to not give away your heart, your anything, unless you know that the person is serious
And is kind.
and is kind and is the same page with you. Like you don't just say, okay, yes, you want this, I will give it to you. No, you have to say, okay, tell me why you want to, be close to me. Is it just for fun, or is it because you want to be serious? If it's not serious, then don't give it away. You're only going to be able to give it away one time. So make sure it's the right person. Right, Rosemary?
Thank you, teachers. Thank you.
You do learn when you have made a mistake because you're miserable. And hopefully when you have extracted yourself from a relationship that exploits you, hopefully you're able to open up and not hold a grudge, and are able to find simple joy again and know that your heart still survives. It's when people get, full of just anger and negativity that the lessons like that lead to unfortunate outcomes. But
And their tendency is to hurt others after that. And
that's
that's a
right.
bad thing.
Right. So if somebody is hurting you purposely, one thing you can always know is that they are in pain, always. And so if you can figure out or find out where the pain is and act lovingly and listen within reason, it's, that's a positive way of dealing with people that are very self-focused.
I agree.
That's way more of an answer than you wanted, I know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And speaking to that, as Laurel was saying, there are some people in life that they don't have this ability to receive love. I have seen throughout my experiences rock people, but again, following what you have said, Rosemary, they melt away once they could reach this point where someone could show them understanding and love. So everyone, I think, has got a point where they open. So we just need to find this opening point, and then from there you can go everywhere.
Yes. So, wow, there's a lot of really deep stuff to think about when we're talking about love. So I invite you to think and to follow through and to write about you on one little occasion, learning or expressing or feeling or being, and share that with us in a paragraph or something else that is on paper, that we can put on paper. You're going to send it to us digitally, but...
Have you got my screen in your eyes?
You forgot what?
My screen, is it shared?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it in
Yep.
French.
Okay. All right, so in here, when you have written your paragraphs, send them to us, and then we have built the booklet for the month of February, that is love. This is what we are going to get, the booklet, and then we are going to post your reflections on our social media. That's Facebook page. I can share it with you on the chat, and this is the last, I think, or one of the reflections from the last booklet, Engaging Peacemaking. So it
Good.
will will get credit for that, and it will shape like this. I can tag you if you are already, if you like the page, so I can find you, and also tag you if I have your Facebook. If we are friends, I can do that for you on your personal Facebook. The other thing I wanted to show you is the forums and how to post your paragraphs there. So you have two options. Either you send me your paragraphs on my personal messenger, or yeah, messenger or WhatsApp, or if you prefer, you can go under forums, and the forum is there for you, open. You can post under it. It's called Booklet Reflections. Here, as you see, this one here with this profile picture of a someone writing. So you come here, you click on that. When you click on that, you're gonna see on the right side up this red tab here, post. So you're going to click post, and it will take you to this screen. So the subject is my paragraph, my paragraph. And here, please, I wanted to write your full name, that is your surname and first name. For example, my name. Then you are going to write the country, your country, the country where you are from or where you live, and then the topic, if you have the topic for your poem or the topic for your paragraph. And then if you have more than one reflection, you are going to say topic one, and then you write, or you copy paste from your desktop or your Word, and then topic two, so that I can understand that it's two topics.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can choose an image for your reflection. So generally, if you are speaking about love and you tape love here, so you're going to have a lot of pictures about love. If you prefer a more customized picture on your from your desktop, you can upload it. So you come here and you click upload. It takes you to your desktop and your files. So you choose from your files or your desktop, and you upload to the post or to the topic. And then you have it, if it's kind of a painting or picture or music, you can add it as an attachment here. See, add attachment. You can add it as an attachment. I'm going to close this one. So if you click on add attachment again, it takes you to your desktop, and you can upload from your desktop whatever you want to add as attachment. And don't forget, please, just to tag. A tag should be February program, so that I can find your reflection.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Add tag. That's good.
Unless you do that, it can be lost and I cannot find it. So you write the same program, and you push enter so that the tag is selected. The tag should be selected, and then you can save it as a draft if you are not sure that this is the final paragraph, or you can publish it if you are sure it is done. I'm not going to publish this, but this is the way you can do that. If you have got any questions about how to post, let me know, or any other things about it.
And we will all enjoy reading your paragraphs as you put them in here. And toward the end of February, hopefully, we're aiming to have 30, let's see, March. How many days does March have? 31, right?
Yes.
So we're looking for 31 paragraphs or shares. So
that's fine. I think if we can, everyone writes 3 reflections. We are 12 people today, and 12 by 3, it's more than 31. So
right. Yeah, because the idea is you can use a booklet for a month and just choose different reflections on different days of the month. And when you do that, you really deepen your consciousness about the subject of the booklet. So it's a way to share with other people, not only those who our fellow writers right now, but into the future, because the booklets will remain available. So it's a way to take and share lovingly your thoughts with other people. It's an act of love. Okay. Sabrina?
Yes, I think the audience doesn't have any further questions. You can close the meeting, Rosemary. We have spoken basically about what is needed to be said.
Okay, and feel free to reach out to us in email or on Telegram with questions. And we look forward to hearing from you and working with you and being fellow writers with you. Namaste.
Adios, amigos.
Bye-bye.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I like that. Adios, amigos. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.